Hello friend, welcome to all of you this lecture of Business Economics Macro semester 4. We are looking here the chapter number 1 money, and this chapter we are looking the various point, the meaning and function of money, and then demand for money. There are two approaches, classical approach and the Keynesian approach, which is we completed. The next point is about the supply of money, and under this we complete the credit creation of the commercial bank. Today's topic is money measures of RBI, which is M1, M2, M3 and M4. So this lecture is about the RBI money measures M1, M2, M3, M4. And then we looking the some credit control methods of the RBI, the quantitative credit control measures and qualitative credit control measures used by the RBI. Then last point of this topic, the value of money, and two theories, the quantity theory of money and cash balance approach. So what is the money supply? The money supply is the total stock of money circulation among the public at the particular point of time in the economy. So at the particular time of the economy, how much total stock of money in the circulation, it's called the money supply. And it's also called the total value of money available in the economy. The monetary authority of the country, like the central bank, publish the data about the how much money supply available in the economy. In India, Reserve Bank of India, they publish the data about the monetary measures, how much money is available in the form of M1 or the M4. So RBI is the authority which is the publish the data about the money supply available in the economy. So the money measures of RBI is classified in four categories: M1, M2, M3 and M4. This classification introduced by the Reserve Bank of India April 1977. So before this, till the March 1968, the RBI published on the measures of the money supply only is the M1. It is the narrow concept of the M1 for about the money supply till to the 1968. But after 1977, RBI published the various categories of all money supply: M1, M2, M3 and M4. So this was the keeping with traditional and Keynesian view of the narrow measures of money supply is the M1. From the 1968, the RBI also started the publishing another measures of money supply, which called the aggregate monetary resources. So this include the M1 plus a deposit of bank held in the public. This was a broad money measures of money supply, means M1 means note and coin plus the deposit of the bank held by the public is included in M1. It is the broad concept as compared to the earlier concept of the M1. So what is the M1? The first important concept of the M1, there is the C plus DD plus OD. C means the currency with the public, which include the note and coin, all denomination in the circulation, the excluding cash on hand with the bank, it's called the currency. So all type of note and coin including C and currency. Then DD means demand deposit with the commercial and cooperative banks, excluding only the interbank deposits. And another is the OD means other deposit, which is with the RBI, including current deposit of foreign central banks, financial institutions and quasi-financial institutions or semi-financial institutions like the IDBI, IFCI, etc. other than the bank, the International Monetary Fund, IBID, World Bank, other account into the RBI. And the RBI characterize the M1 is the narrow concept. So M1 is include C plus DD plus OD. So in short, the M1 is equal to total currency held public plus demand deposit with the all bank plus other deposit into the bank. So it is the narrow concept of the money supply. Shortly we see that M1 is equal to C plus DD plus OD. So it is the narrow concept of M1, but it is the important concept. The next is about the M2. So it is the second measures of the money supply. M2, which is the consist M1 plus post office saving bank deposits. So what is M1? M1 means C plus DD plus OD, means currency, other deposit into the RBI, and demand deposit into commercial bank and cooperative banks. So there is the M1 plus the post office saving is equal to the M2. Since saving bank deposit of commercial and cooperative banks are included into the money supply, and it is essential to include the post office saving, that's why the M2 is include the post office saving. The majority of people in rural area, the urban Indians, have deposit their money into the post offices. So that's why the post office saving included into the M2. So in short, the M2 is equal to M1 plus post office saving bank deposits. In short, M2 is equal to M1 plus POSBD, means post office saving bank deposits. Next concept is about the M3. It is the third measures of money supply. M3, which is the consist M1 plus time deposit of commercial and cooperative banks, which is excluding the interbank time deposits. So in M1 we include the time demand deposits of the commercial banks and cooperative banks, but M3 we include the time deposits of commercial bank and cooperative banks. So the RBI call its M3 is the broad money measures, because M3, which is the include the time deposits also. So in short, what is mean by the M3? We looking into this formula. The Chakravarti committee also recommended the use of M3 monetary, the targeting with any reason, and according to this, the M3 is equal to M1 plus time deposit of all banks. M1 means C plus DD plus OD, means currency plus the demand deposit of commercial and cooperative banks plus the other deposit into the RBI plus time deposit of all banks. So M3 is the broad concept of money supply. So in short, what is the M3? M3 is equal to M1 plus net TDCB, means total time deposit of the all bank. Last one is about the M4 is money supply measures used by the RBI. M4 consists of the M3 plus total post office deposit comprising time deposit and the demand deposit as well. This is the branded measure of money supply. So M4 is include the M4 is equal to M3 plus total post office deposit, which is the remaining to in M1 and the M3. So total other post office deposits include into this means M3 plus total post office deposits means the M4. So in short, M4 means equal to M1 plus TPOD, total post office other deposits. But into the year 1998, YD Reddy committee is the remove this concept of M4, and there is only two important concept used. The M1 is the narrow concept of money supply and M3 is the broad concept. The next what we learn, the summarize the all the M1 to M3. So M3 is the broad concept and significance into the economy. M1 is the narrow concept, which is the include the currency and the demand deposit of the all banks and the other deposit into the RBI. M3 is the broad concept for the RBI point of view. So here we looking the summary of what is M1, M2, M3 and M4. M1 is the narrow concept, the currency with the public plus demand deposit with the banking system and other deposit into the RBI means the M1. M2 means M1 plus saving deposit of post office saving bank. M3 is the broad concept, M1 plus time deposit with the all banking system means the M3, and M4 means the M3 plus all deposit with the post office saving bank excluding national saving certificate of the post office. So this is the summary, what is the M1, M2, M3 and M4. The working group of 1998 under the YV Reddy committee, they suggest the another measures for the money supply. So they suggest the classification instead of M1, M2, M3, 4. They suggest that the M0, M1, M2 and M3, these four measures. According to them, N0 means the currency in circulation of bank deposit with the RBI plus other deposit with the RBI. So currency in circulation, bank deposit with the RBI. So all banks deposit into the RBI and other deposit with the RBI. It's the M0, it is the reserve money. And M1 is equal to that the NM1 means the currency with the public, note and coin plus demand deposit with the banking system and plus other deposit with the RBI. Means previously M1 is similar to NM1. Then NM2, NM1 means M1 plus short term deposit of resident including the up to contractual maturity of 1 year. So short term deposit up to the contractual maturity of 1 year is included in this M1. So it's called NM2. And last, finally NM3 is equal to NM1 plus NM2, long term deposit of resident plus call or term funding from the financial institution. So financial institution call or term funding is included into the NM3. So NM3 is a broad money measures and NM1 is the narrow money measures according to YV Reddy Group 1998. So what we looking in this video, we looking the money means what we use pay for the things is generally called the money, and the money supply is the total stock of money in circulation among the public at particular point of time in the economy means the money supply. The monetary authority means central bank is the publish the data about the money supply, how much money is available in the economy at the particular time, and RBI, Reserve Bank of India, the publish the data about the M1, M2, M3 and M4. Some new money measures suggested by the YV Reddy Group in 1998, and they classified all the money measures NM0 to NM3. NM1 is the narrow money measures and NM2 and NM3 is the broad money measures. So thank you for watching this video. You can refer for this the ML Jingle macroeconomics books. Also use Rasa RG, Espiada, Gotekar, Gula Business Economics, same 4 book, present publication Jalgaon is available in market and your library. So the next is the assignment question on this topic. What question will be asked? Write a short notes on what is a narrow money, what is a broad money. Narrow money means M1, broad money means the M3. Explain the RBI new money measures. It will be asked in the examination for 10 marks. So write a short note on narrow money and broad money and explain the RBI new money measures is the question asked in examination. So thank you for watching this video. The next time we will be looking the next point in next video. Thank you.